Hi, thank you for joining us on this episode of Sports Bets for Free. My name is Scott Jenkins, your host, just a local sports bettor here in Phoenix, Arizona. And hopefully today with our picks and your picks, it's going to be another profitable day for you. Friday, March 29th, NCAA Sweet 16, the last four games of the Sweet 16. And then we head into the weekend of Elite 8 games on there to see who's going to make it to the Final Four. So let's get rolling with this one here. We've got first game up, NC State Marquette. Let's, how do we put this? Can NC State really get any luckier than what they've done? They won 7 games in 12 days, including 5 in a row, which is kind of a miracle run to begin with. Only other team, UConn, to do that in the Big East, but in the ACC, they did beat some good teams along the way. They beat, handled Duke, handled North Carolina, the top two teams normally in that conference every season long, two of the blue bloods in the country. But do we really expect them to make the second weekend? I don't really think we did. Come in as 11 seed, don't have to play in the play-in game because they win the tournament. They get a win, then they end up playing, a team that beats Kentucky, goes out there and handles that in Oakland, but can't finish the deal. Oakland had multiple opportunities to win that game and didn't finish it. And when it went to overtime, you could pretty much just kiss it goodbye. Most dogs in overtime don't end up surviving with that extra quarter. It's just like, like playing 7-game series. Most of the better team's going to win. You add that extra quarter or, extra time to a game, more times than not, the better team's going to figure out how to, get that thing done. They're not the better team in this matchup, though. Marquette is real. If you haven't watched Marquette play, you need to just pay attention. They have excellent point guard play. Their point guard's fantastic. He seems to always either make the right pass, make the right shot, do exactly what he's supposed to do. It's pretty amazing to watch on that in there. Marquette, second best in the Big East, which the top three of the Big East with UConn, obviously number one overall seed in this tournament. And then Creighton could shoot the lights out at any time. In fact, beat UConn at home by 20. So Marquette to finish there with some injuries that they've had throughout the season. I think they handled themselves quite well in that one there. Obviously coming in as a 2 seed, no shame in that whatsoever. They are a 6.5-point favorite in this game. Total at 151.5 currently. I'll be really honest with you. I don't see many paths for NC State to get something done here. So Marquette has the size to keep up with them and 3-point defense in order to kind of shut down what NC State does. So we expect Marquette to roll here, and we expect quite a bit of scoring, at least on the Marquette side. So Marquette -3 first half. Marquette -6.5 for the game. Also over 71.5 total first half. And then over 151.5 for the game. So one more time, bets on this that we have for Marquette, NC State. The miracle Cinderella ride for NC State we believe is over. So Marquette -3 first half, -6.5 for the game. Over 71.5 total first half. Over 151.5 total for the game. Next game up on the board, Purdue, Gonzaga. I know everybody's excited about Purdue because, man, look how great they were the first weekend. Do we really think that they're going to be able to do this for the whole tournament? I do not. Gonzaga here getting 5.5, 154.5 total. Zag had a little bit more athletic. Now, Zach Edey's a problem. He's a problem for everybody. Is there a way to slow him down? Yeah. Keep his ass more than 2 feet away from the basket. If you have to foul out 5 guys to do so, then do so. But don't let him get in there and get those easy dump-offs, and then all of a sudden they hit a couple threes, and next thing you know, they're on a 15-0 run. Gonzaga kind of proved to me in that second half of that Kansas game, they absolutely worked Kansas over. KU, I understand, not extremely deep. We didn't expect them to go very far in the tournament due to injury and depth concerns. But you're talking a blue blood. They put the hammer down on them in the second half. We expect Gonzaga to run this thing up and down the court. We're Purdue almost out of this. We think Gonzaga, not necessarily the better team in this matchup, but we think they're better coached with Mark Few, and we think they'll figure out a way to get this done and get to the Elite Eight. Now, what they do from there, kind of on their own. kind of depends, doesn't it, right? But we do like the 5.5 here with Gonzaga. We also like them on the money line. We're all over this Gonzaga matchup, so let's give you all the bets. So we like Gonzaga, money line, first half. Gonzaga plus 2.5 in the first half. Gonzaga, money line for the game, and then plus 5.5 for the game. So the total, I have a feeling this thing is probably going to end up in the 70s. So maybe mid to high 70s. So I think when this totals at 154.5 roughly, that total's a little tight, not a ton of value there. I can see Purdue scoring in the 60s and maybe even Gonzaga scoring in the 80s here, but we do like Gonzaga in this matchup. They're not going to be able to roll over them like Purdue just beat the hell out of Utah State. This is not a Mountain West team, folks. So Gonzaga plus 2.5 first half, money line first half. Gonzaga plus 5.5 for the game and money line for the game. Next game up. Duke Houston. Duke the 4 seed, Houston the number 1 seed in the South. Line currently 4.5, 133.5 in this one. Houston laying the points here. So Houston, I believe, had their scare. They did not shoot the ball well at all in their last game out. Maybe we get a little progression in this one. Duke couldn't have shot any better against James Madison if they tried, and they couldn't get pushed around because the refs, I swear, if you breathed on Duke wrong, they were going to get the call. Now, was that because it was James Madison? This is Houston, folks. This is not some random off-the-wall team. Houston was the best team in the best conference. Now, they did get their ass kicked by Iowa State. Not going to deny that. They had a tricky one their last time out that they ended up getting through. But we don't see the same here with this Houston team. Houston, like I said, didn't shoot the ball well there. They are the best offensive rebounding team in the country. Duke, like I said, couldn't shoot any better from 3 if they tried. Therefore, normally you don't get 2 of those games in a row. So if Duke struggles from the 3, which I assume they're going to in this game due to Houston's defense being 1 or 2 in the country, depending on which metric you're looking at between them and Iowa State, I don't see Duke having that shooting prowess in this one, and Houston can score. Now, they didn't shoot well, like I said the last time, but they can put up some points. So we like Houston in this matchup and like them quite a bit here. So Houston, -2 for first half, -4 for the games when we got them a couple days ago. Line 4, 4.5, depending on what book you can always buy it on an alternate line as well. And then we also like the over. So Duke Houston over 63 total in the first half, and over 133.5 for the game. So one more time, Houston -2 first half, -4 for the game. Duke Houston over 63 first half, and then also over 133.5 for the game. Next game up, and the last game on the board, Creighton, Tennessee. Creighton, a 2-3 matchup here, so we should have a barn burner. That's why it's the late game. 7:09 or 10:09 out east. Tennessee laying the 2.5, total at 144.5. Creighton can score, folks. They can score in multiple different ways, but they can be deadly and just knock down threes like crazy. Tennessee, except for Dalton Connect, they struggle to score. Like, I don't understand how everybody kind of hasn't figured that part out. They do struggle to score if it's not Dalton Connect. Now, the line has went up on the total. It was 143.5, now at 144. And to be really honest, this is another game where we do like the over, but this one's probably going to be one of those ones we're gritting to the end. Or you better hope Tennessee keeps it close, because I think Creighton's running away with this. On this particular one, we did not take the money line here. There wasn't a lot of value there for the money line. We just think Creighton's going to win this game, though, and getting 2.5 in our back pocket, we'll gladly take those. So Creighton plus a half first half, plus 2.5 for the game. And then also over 67.5 first half and over 143.5 for the game. So one more time in Creighton, Tennessee, Creighton plus a half first half, plus 2.5 for the game. And then Creighton, Tennessee, over 67.5 total first half, over 143.5 total for the game. So coming out of that one, we like, obviously, Marquette, Gonzaga, Houston, Creighton out of those 4 games. Knocking off Purdue out of that mess. Taking out Tennessee. But Purdue's the only 1 seed we've got getting knocked out there. We did earlier, we had the 2-1 seeds. So, like, currently it looks like we're going to have 3 1 seeds in the Elite 8 and a bunch of 2s. I know there was a lot of talk about parity, but we all noticed there's only 1 double-digit seed that made the Sweet 16. So maybe it was the top 25 teams, and that was really about it, is the way it looks. Is the next seed down is looking at a 6 seed in Clemson and a 5 seed of San Diego State. Both of those teams were ranked throughout the season. So parity, yes. I think there's a lot of parity between the bigger ball or the better ball clubs, but not necessarily all the way down the line. But we should have a barn burner Friday. I know we're going to have we're taping this before even the Thursday games, but I know we're going to have a barn burner Thursday. I honestly think this could be one of the best Sweet 16 Elite 8s we've seen, which will lead to a really good Final Four as well. So just buckle up and be ready to rock and roll. We'll be back again with some Elite 8 matchups once these games get through to get you to the Final Four, and then we'll get you some Final Four matchups when they're heading out here to Phoenix area to get those finished up as well. So make sure you do check that out when you get some time. And if you want to see all the bets, what juice we got them at, how many units, and what book we placed them at, the key is to look at our Google Sheets. There is a link at the end of every episode that we do. There is a link to the Google Sheets. So make sure you do check those out. You're gonna look if you want these March Madness bets. You're just going to go to the Basketball 23-24 tab and scroll down till you get to those there. So you'll also see, like we had an earlier episode with the NBA bets for tonight. A lot of stuff going on there, so do make sure you check those out. That is our ledger. That's our Bible. You can see how we've done in the past few days. You can see how we've done all season long. We also have multiple sports, folks. We're just not a basketball show. We have a lot of baseball bets that's going on as well as the baseball season starting. Football, we bet that as well. We are multiple sports better. Probably bet way too much and way too often on sports, but we do make money there, so it is part of the process here. So we are a volume better as well, so I know we lay out a lot of bets. So a lot of times it's the easiest way to kind of track everything without having to write everything down through the show. And as always, if you could subscribe and get notifications to our YouTube channel, so when we drop a new episode of Bets, you get those first. It makes life really simple to find us once you hit that subscribe button. We'll show up in your subscriptions tab. And if you want to make life really simple, turn notifications on for YouTube. You'll get a notification to your phone or device to let you know Sports Bets for Free has dropped a new episode of Bets. Give you plenty of time to match them up with your bets and give you that ton of confidence you need heading to the betting app or betting window. I do appreciate everybody's support as always, and I look forward to seeing you on the next episode.